Hi guys, today's video is going to be all about hair removal. We all deal with it to some degree, some of us, more than others, but we all do some kind of hair removal, even if it's just plucking our eyebrows. So little as it's talked about, I kind of felt like I wanted to make a video and tell you guys what's worked for me, the different methods I've tried, and what kind of products, I was going to say programs, that doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, what kind of products I would actually recommend you try if you haven't already. A little plug in the beginning of the video, I have made a video for Mum's Eye View, which is Asda's YouTube channel, which should be up already. If it's not, then I will link their channel below so you can subscribe and check out their other videos that other people have made on that channel as well. And that is the reason that there is an ad disclaimer in my title, purely because I'm telling you about that video, which I was obviously paid for. The rest of the video is in no way sponsored or an advertorial, but any other information you might want will be in the information bar below. I just want you guys to completely be aware of what you're watching and everything to be super duper clear. So that video is about World Book Day. I got some really cute footage of Milo in a Woody costume, which he will not get out of. He's got out of the bath minutes ago and is watching Toy Story again, wearing the Woody costume, so that's pretty cute. If you want to see that, go and check out that video. But on with the remainder of this video, which as I say will be about hair removal. Now I will start with a bit of an elephant in the room. Those of you that have been watching me, not even for that long, it was maybe November, December I talked about this, and it's the Veet IPL thing, the gun. And I made a video about this, and I did say if you guys wanted me to do a follow-up that I would do it in a video. I will be doing the final part of my review in a blog post, so I'll do kind of a full review of it, but I wanted to mention it because I thought you guys might ask, those of you who've been waiting for my review. I will do the full review, so check out my blog, keep an eye on that for that, but yeah, for now I thought I would just kind of give you a brief overview of what I found. It does work, but it doesn't work as well as I would want it for the price that it is. I think it's 200 plus, maybe even 250 pounds, really expensive. I'm not going to go into the full thing because it's going to take me all day, but basically I would need to be using this once a week, and we're not talking completely smooth legs. I'd still need to be shaving more than once a week, maybe. Maybe if I shaved kind of like, because you do it just after shaving, maybe if I shaved and then I used the device once a week, I would get just not as smooth as I would want. You'd still get stray hairs because your growth cycle, not all your hairs grow at the same time. It's good in one way, but for the rate that my hair grows, it's just not good enough for me. So it's not something that I would endorse. It does work, but not well enough for me to spend that kind of money. So yeah, I'll link my other video that I made about this if you want to know kind of more about it and how it works and stuff. But that's all I'm going to say about that for now. Next, I have a ton of Nair products. This was completely by accident. It's not like they just sent me all of these products because this is what it looks like. And especially what I've just said about sponsorship and stuff. But over the course of like the last 6 months, I've bought all of these Nair products. And I just have come to realise that they are my favourite brand when it comes to wax. I didn't even mention wax, it's about wax. So the ones that I was going to recommend, I just recently tried something brand new, and that in fairness was sent to me. But I'll start with the thing that was going to kind of kick off this video. I had never waxed before, not ever, ever, ever. I've tried and failed. I've tried lots of wax strips, and they wasn't rough enough. I didn't like that initial pull off the strip yourself is very, very difficult to kind of real psych yourself up for it. I've read people say, oh, try and get a friend to help. Depends on what you're waxing, because I'm not having any of my friends help me out in certain areas. No, you just kind of have to bite the bullet and suck it up, I think. But yeah, these are the ones that I've found to be the best ones. They are the Nair, I've not actually tried any other Nair ones, but Nair Argan Oil Body Wax Strips. It says for legs, body and bikini, suitable for dry and sensitive skin. Now again, I don't find these to be really any good for me for my legs. I never can seem to get a perfectly smooth finish, which is what I really want for my legs, whereas for my bikini line I'm less, what's the word, specific? No, that's not right, particular about it, less specific, that's not what I meant at all. And so this is what these look like. They are what are they called? Gosh, this is a terrible video, I can't remember what anything's called. They're something strips. Does it tell? Cold strips, is that what it's called? I don't know, they're wax strips, you know what I mean. They've already got wax on them, so you don't have to put the wax on, put a strip down and whatever. What I really like about these is there's a heat indicator. So if you can see, it says Nair all over it. And when it gets hot enough, so you kind of warm it up in the palm of your hand or wherever, and when it gets hot enough, that logo disappears. And so it's got an actual indicator, you know it's reached that temperature where it's kind of optimum to pull apart and actually use it. Now I actually cut them up into strips that are more like this. Given the area that I'm working with, it makes more sense to use these kind of little strips rather than these large ones, and it actually lasts me a really long time. I don't know how many you get in here. It doesn't actually say. I think you maybe get 8. There's quite a lot of them, and if you consider that I then cut them up into this size, and this is not a full one, this is probably, I don't know, that off a full one, and then that's actually 2 in itself because you rip it apart, then you actually get a lot of applications from this, and I find that it really does pull out the hairs. It's really, really effective. I've tried various different strips in the past and just kind of written them up as, oh, they don't work because they didn't really pull out any hair, but these are really, really effective. So I really would recommend those. Of all the strips I've tried, I've also tried the facial ones, which again, love. I don't use them all that often. A couple of things, I do have kind of, it's not dark, but I have hair on my top lip. And to be quite honest, the only reason that I get rid of it is lipstick photos. For day to day, if I wasn't on YouTube, if I wasn't a blogger, I would just ignore it. Maybe just kind of get, if you've got very dark ones that come through occasionally, just on the very, very edges, I would pluck those. But other than that, it doesn't bother me at all. I actually have a bizarrely dark upper lip, so I have kind of pigment on the top of my lip that looks like a shadow, and that's got nothing to do with hair on my top lip. I see it all the time, it drives me mad. I've had so many pictures taken and I'm like, oh, it looks like I've got a mustache, and that's not it. It's just, I have kind of a strange pigmentation on the top of my lip. I have it around my eyes, various places, so really annoying. But I have this fuzz that kind of annoys me when I take pictures, and so I've used these. The only kind of downside is that, one, when you use them, I tend to get a little bit of a rash. Tiny, tiny little whiteheads will appear on my top lip, which obviously is a little bit telltale sign that you've been waxing. And also, the last time I waxed, because I would normally pluck, the last time I waxed, I got one jet black hair grow through afterwards, which freaked me out because I've never had anything like that before. So just kind of a word of kind of warning, just in case that happens to you. It's never happened again, or since, or previously rather, and when I plucked it, it didn't come back, but that was a little bit of a scary moment. So I've used those strips as well. But the one that I want to talk to you about today is not a strip at all. This was sent to me, and I've used it. It doesn't look used because this is brand new. But then I bought a new one because I knew I would want a new one at some point anyway, because I really like it. But also, there was no way I was showing you the state of the one that I've used, because basically you heat it up. This is not something for beginners. This is something I would recommend if you're starting to feel a little bit confident with waxing yourself. There's no way I would tell you to try this for the first time, because this is a little bit scary. So basically, this is kind of hard wax, totally hard. And you put it in the microwave for however many minutes it says. I think it's like 2 or 4 minutes, whatever. And then it becomes kind of goopy. And then you use this spatula to take out the wax, put it where you want to go. You leave it for maybe 30 seconds and it becomes hard, and then you whip it off. So this becomes the wax strip. Now, here are the things that I found with this. It definitely hurts, but there's some strange thing about it being warm that makes it hurt a little bit less. But there are areas that I let it cool for too long, and then it's practically plastic. I can't really explain it to you, but I had a moment where I thought I wasn't going to be able to get it off, and it was in a very intimate area. I just was scared. This would be probably really good for legs. I haven't tried it for my legs yet, but this was the most effective wax I've used. But definitely a little bit more of a professional wax, and not something you should try if you've not used it very much. Now, another product I have from Nair, although this isn't specific to Nair, I find the ones from Veet. Is IMAC Veet now? Whatever ones I've used have worked in the same way. It works, but it's exactly the same as shaving, so you get stubble the same way, and I would kind of rather shave, because there's always the risk. This doesn't work that well on my legs, but if you're talking kind of bikini line area, or underarms, or wherever you want to do it, there's always the risk that it's going to get in a place that you don't want it to get, and that stings. You do not want that. So yeah, it's okay, but it doesn't work for my legs, and so I don't really use it that often, but I thought it was worth mentioning for those of you that wanted to know about it. Lastly, I'm going to talk about epilating. Now, you want to know about pain. Let me introduce you to this. This is, I don't know, this hurts, but it's worth the pain for me. This is something that I use for when I've waxed. And this works on your legs as well, but I think this hurts more on my legs than any other place on my body. But I use this in between kind of waxing, so kind of just to keep tabs on everything that needs to be done. Kind of if I've got something on my bikini line that's just come through but I don't want to wax yet, then I'll use this. But I'll also use it to catch any hairs that the wax hasn't got. So really, really useful for that. Quite painful, but if you use it in the bath underwater, that does definitely comfort and help with the pain. But the thing that I use this most for is my face. You might be surprised to learn that I use it on my face. In fact, I'll show you what I mean. If you could have felt that, you would have cried a little bit inside. There are hairs on my chin that I know are there and I can feel them, but I can't get them with tweezers. And that's what I use this for. It looks like I'm shaving my face. It's hilarious. I feel like I'm using like a man's razor. Now, if you've never used an epilator before, it basically is like a tweezer, like lots and lots and lots and lots of tweezers. It's plucking all of the hairs all at once. So bear in mind, if you use it in an area where you've got a lot of hair, it's going to hurt a lot. And so that's why I tend to use this on areas that just have hairs that I can't catch somewhere, whether it be between waxing or with my chin. There are definitely hairs that come through on my chin that I'm like, yes, I can definitely get this. There's maybe like 8 or 9 substantial hairs that I get on my chin. All I'm thinking is, what am I going to be like when I'm 75? Because this is an issue right now. And I'm only 29, so what am I going to do when I'm actually of an age where it's normal to have hair on your chin? I think I'm going to have just a full-on beard. Maybe this is why people don't make videos about hair removal. But you can actually get one specifically for facial hair if you want to, but I find that this works in exactly the same way. And if you're not into epilating, or you feel like maybe you won't get a lot of use out of it, this has other attachments. I forget what all of them are, but I know that one of them is like a rotating body brush. Which in truth I don't think I've ever used. Maybe I used it once when it first arrived, but other than that, never. I use the epilator all the time. So just a recap. Shaving for legs and underarms. Sometimes I could wax under my arms if I wanted to, I suppose, but I don't really. So shaving for yeah, legs and underarms. This Veet thing does work, but not well enough for me to justify the cost. I would really love to hear from you that have tried IPLs, because obviously it's different for different people, and if you've not got that much hair, or your hair doesn't grow as fast as mine, then this might work really, really well. I don't know if I'm the ideal candidate, I don't know. So let me know how you found IPL if you've used one. Various different waxes. I definitely recommend these wax strips. Like I say, I've tried different ones. These specifically are the best that I've tried. Same with these facial ones if you were into that, although these will probably work in different areas if you want. There's just kind of a smaller version, I'll show you them. They look like that, so it's just a small version of the other one. It's going to be basically the same thing, I would imagine. Hair removal cream is okay, but I prefer shaving. And then there's this. This is the scary one that if you're feeling adventurous or confident, that I would recommend, because it's very effective, but it's a little bit scary for beginners. So yeah, hopefully this was useful. Hopefully you guys have had some questions answered if you've been kind of looking for different methods of hair removal. If you have any questions at all, please leave me a comment and I will try to get back to as many / all of you as possible. All of you as possible doesn't really make sense, does it? As many as possible / all of you, if that is possible. But again, I did make that video for Mum's Eye View, please check that out. It was pretty cute with the kids, and it's just kind of about books and costumes and things that they can wear for World Book Day. I don't know about you, but my kids always don't, well, my kid that is of school age never tells me about World Book Day until the night before, and then I have to makeshift some kind of costume. So I'm really happy to have 2 in stock now, for in case she needs one. But yeah, that's everything. Keep feeling, I never know how to end a video, because I always feel like there's something else I need to tell you, but I don't think that there is. So I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!
Naked babies. Maybe that's what hurts you. Maybe I don't mean that on. Just the Buzz Lightyear one.
The Buzz Lightyear one next.
I want the Buzz Lightyear on.